Okay, so I guess my my little test this morning using sorry, let me just first and foremost, let me apologize to my Instagram followers that I'm a little late because I am trying to stream into using a third-party app to stream into Facebook, but because I did a test just now and it somehow expired my event inside Facebook. So now I'm not able to stream from a third party app into Facebook, even though we tried the workaround this morning, it worked. So I'm directly streaming into Facebook by going to Facebook and Instagram by going to Instagram. And I guess LinkedIn and YouTube, you guys just have to somehow I will load a video on it. So whatever the case, thank you so much for joining me today inside Instagram and Facebook, can't say YouTube and LinkedIn. If you're joining me the very first time, make sure that you say hi, give me your name, let me know where you're joining me from. And my name is May Yo Silvers. I am the owner of M2 Hospitality, a multiple six-figure profit event planning company. I am also the founder, event mentor, and coach for Events for Anyone, where we provide a mentorship program for event planners, designers, and decorators to help them start and grow the event planning company into a six-figure profit business as well. So a little bit of a tech challenge this morning. I apologize for that, but I'm going to promise you today's session is going to be good. So see quite a few of you on Instagram. If you're live with me on Facebook, say hi. I don't know. I'm able to, somebody who's watching me on Facebook, please say hi on Facebook so I know that I'm actually streaming inside Facebook, because I don't know if I am. So I'm just going to assume that I am. Okay. So make sure you drop a comment so I know that you're here with me. Okay. All right. So today's topic is, how do we handle bad reviews, and how do we, here you go. Okay. So I'm live on Facebook. So how do we handle bad reviews? And also, how do we turn bad reviews into opportunities? So I'm going to go over the step-by-step process. Okay, I know some of you may not have your business up yet, or have not started to get leads yet, but it's good for you to know how to handle it down the road, because as your business grow, there will be situations that there will be people who will have something not positive to say about either you, your brand, your services, your team, your vendors, anything. Okay, so we want to be able to know how to handle that type of situation. Okay, all right, perfect. So I see that Facebook can see me, Instagram is here too. So the very first thing that you want to take into consideration is to catch your emotions. When you get a bad review, the very first response is you feel defensive. Okay, you cannot believe somebody will have negative thing to say about your services, your brand, your product, whatever it is, because you are so proud of what you put out. So why would anyone have anything bad to say? There will always be that one person. Okay, and I want to prep you for that one person. And sometimes that one person snowballs if we don't handle it correctly. So the very first thing you want to be able to catch yourself is, don't get emotional, don't get upset at that person who's giving you the review. You can get upset, you can have a pity party, but do not respond. Do not respond immediately to that review. Do not say anything, do not reach out, nothing. Okay? Once you see that review, because emotions are running high. When they are writing that review, their emotions are running high as well. And your emotions are running high too. So whatever that comes out from your mouth, from your brain, it's all triggered reaction. It is not logical, and I want you to be aware of that. Just like your mom has always taught you, right? If you got nothing good to say, shut up, okay? If whatever you're going to say, you cannot say it in front of that person, then don't say it. this is where it kicks in. You need to take a control of your emotions and not react, okay? Read it, walk away, fume, get upset. That's not normal. That's all normal. So get it out first. Get all your emotions out first. Then come back with a cooler mind or a more calm state of mind to handle the situation. You must be thinking, what if it's a bad review, I need to tackle it immediately because other people will see the review and then they won't book me. Trust me, okay? It's going to take a while for people to first find you, all right, and then sift through the review, okay? I highly doubt that the SEO for your Google review is so super duper powerful that once someone leaves you a bad review, immediately you reach 1 million people. No, it doesn't work like that. So don't worry, you don't have to respond immediately. Give it at least 48 to 72 hours, sometimes even a week, okay, but no more than, I would say no more than 5 days. Give it a few days to cool down and also for the other party to cool down because it's no point trying to go over the review when emotions are high because everyone will have their own perspective of what happened and you will be defensive and they will not take it well and then the bad review will snowball to become a worse review that you'll ever get. So you don't want to do that, okay? How many of you here, see quite a few of you here joining me, have ever gotten a bad review? I'd love to be able to hear how you handle it, okay? Just put it in the chat. So now in this situation, what I would do, and I had done this before and I know it works every single time. Listen, I have done it that I responded immediately, backfired, big time. I have done it where I waited for a while, but then I went back, I realized that my emotions have not really calmed down yet and then it backfired. That's why I say give yourself 3 to 5 days to really digest the whole information. So first and foremost, calm down. Do not respond at all. Do not acknowledge, do not respond at all. After you have calmed down, this is what I want you to do. I want you to print out that review, okay? Print out that review and call for a meeting. So call for a meeting with your team members or your vendors where the review was directing to, okay? If there's no one involved and it's only about you, then okay, then you don't have to involve anybody, just you, okay? So I want you to print it out. Why? Why do I want you to print it out? Because when you print something out, it makes you have to, you are forced to sit down and read, okay? So I want you to print it out and I want you to take a highlighter to highlight the things that they say that they're not happy about, okay? I want you to highlight those things that they say they're not happy about. And the next thing you're going to ask yourself is this a lie or is this a fact? Is this a lie? Is this a fact? Or there is a gray area to this, unclear, okay? Why? Because if this is a fact for you, it may not be a fact for them. But when you are going to explain to that person who wrote the review why you think it's a fact, you immediately will have you will have your ammunition, okay? You will know what to say. So you want to highlight the facts, you want to highlight the lies, and you want to highlight the unknown, okay, or the gray area. So use 3 different highlighters. So just know that for you, it could be a lie. For them, it could be a fact. For you, it's a fact. For them, it could be a lie. And for you, it's a gray area. For them, it's a fact or a lie, okay? Just know that once you accept the fact that you may not come to a mutual agreement because we're all different human beings, we see things very differently, then you will be able to go into the conversation much calmer. But at least you have done your homework. I want you to, okay, highlight a fact, a lie, and also a gray area. After you have highlighted the fact, the lie, and the gray area, once again, if your team member is involved, a vendor is involved, that's when you're going to call a meeting. And you're going to bring this paper up and you're going to say, hey, listen, who and who, this particular client mentioned this. Tell me what happened, okay? Now, if it's just you involved, no one else, you're gonna have to go back to your notes, all right? That's why documentation is so important. You have to document every single thing. Every time I get on a client's call, every single time I get on a client call, I get it on Zoom, okay? I get it on Zoom and I record the meeting. And then I will write a recap of the meeting. If it's a phone call, I will write a recap of that phone call without fail. This is my SOP. If you're not doing that, you should start doing now. Because you never know if there's going to be miscommunication down the road, or for whatever reason you're out of commission, you're called away for some emergency, or you're going on vacation, somebody's looking after this particular event, whatever. They will have notes to reference to, okay? That's part of your SOP as well. And it also helps for you to document how many hours that you are working, okay? So how many hours you're working as well. So somebody just shared, okay, Danielle, you said that you had a bad review and you reported because it was a lie. It was a perspective. So you said it was a perspective, so you respect, but it was false. I didn't see it until months later. So that was a good thing. Thankfully for all your data and questionnaires, you prove a lot wrong as, okay. There you go. See? So one of our graduates in our mentorship program, she documented everything. So the client's perspective, they may not think it's a lie when they posted the review, okay? So I think the next thing I'm going to ask Danielle is, did you actually had a conversation with that person, okay, before you reported it? Because if you did not, you reported and then you just became combative on that Google review, you lost this client. Here, I'm going to teach you how to turn that client who gave you a very bad review, even though it's a lie, to continue to use you and also to refer you. That's why finesse and tact is needed in order to handle this. So when you print out the complaint, the review, you go back to your notes, and then you are going to highlight what was said and what actually happened. What was said and what actually happened. So you have documentation and evidence, facts, proof that what she wrote was inaccurate. So now you have done this part. This part here is extremely important, okay? But also know that she may perceive things very differently. So after you have done all your homework, so there you go, okay? So Danielle said that she had never had a conversation with her. She's not an ideal client, and it's not someone that you should have taken on. Now, I want to have a word of caution, okay? If for whatever reason you pick up a client that down the road you realize that, oh, that's not an ideal client. That person is not an ideal client. So whatever they say, okay, it's not going to matter, because I will never work with her again. I want you to listen to this very carefully. Do you know how many good reviews that are out there versus how many complaints that are out there? This is human nature. When it's good, nobody talks about it. Maybe a very small percentage. When it's bad, you can't wait to tell everybody how bad that thing is. The ripple effect, okay, the adverse effect is so much stronger and spread faster than a good review. Therefore, even though this person may not be your ideal client, okay, this person is somebody you will never work again, you never ever want to burn any bridges or relationship, because you never know who she shares her experience with. And whoever she shares her experience with could be with some friends and family, and those friends and family continue to spread that bad experience to one day it may be heard over by your ideal client. So now, what are the chances of that happening? Slim to none, but there is always a chance. And some buyers, they do their own homework, they look at the reviews. Okay, 9 out of 10 are good, 1 is bad. I wouldn't listen to the bad. But there are some group of people who will just pay attention to the bad review and will never read the good review. So now their buying decision is tainted. So you want to be able to always live with a good standing and not ignore, okay? That's my advice. That's how I handle it. You handle it however you want, but that's how I handle it, and that's how I'm able to turn every single one of my clients for M2 Hospitality into repeat clients. Even though things fall through the cracks, vendors drop the ball, I drop the ball, they complain, they give me a feedback, but how do I salvage that situation, okay? So now you have done all your documentation, you have done your homework, okay? Now is the time. That's probably like 3 to 5 days later, right? That's when you're going to contact them. I would strongly suggest not to call them because they may not be ready to talk to you. Or they may be waiting for you to call them within 24 hours. A lot of times when somebody writes a bad review, there are two reasons. One is to get it off their chest, okay? They may not be looking for compensation. They just want to get it off their chest. Or another reason is they're looking for compensation and they're waiting for you to call them back immediately and give something. So that's why I say let's play the waiting game, okay? Let them wonder what is going on, all right? And also time will also soothe out all those emotions. So in this case, you're going to either email them or text them, okay? And then you are going to acknowledge. This part is very important. You're going to acknowledge the review, but you're going to thank them, okay? Step by step. Step number 1, print out, highlight, collect your facts, okay? Talk to the people involved. Step number 2, you are going to get in contact with them, text message, email. Step number 3, you are going to, once you are able to get hold of them, you are going to have to thank them, okay? You must thank them for taking the time to write how they feel about how the event went. Why? Because they are not expecting you to thank them. When you thank them, you're disarming them, okay? Because it takes a lot for someone to sit there and like this. And you want to acknowledge their emotions. So you want to be thankful that thank you so much for taking the time to share your feedback, to share your experience. I know you must, this part here, empathetic. You got to be empathetic. I know you must be feeling extremely frustrated and upset for you to sit down, to type this out and share your frustration. I do want you to know I appreciate you taking the time and sharing how you feel, because this is an opportunity for us to be better, to be able to improve our services or product so we can reduce the possibility of such incidents happening again. So you want to thank them, okay? So now you disarm them. Then you're going to ask them, can we schedule a time for us to talk about it? Because I want to make this right. This part here, can we schedule a time to talk about it? Because I want to make this right. I did not say I'm going to give you a refund. I did not say because I want to talk about what happened. No, I said because I want to make it right. This part here is what is going to hook them to get on a call with you, okay? I want to make it right. So this is a little ambiguous, okay? So in their head, make it right means, oh, I'm going to get back some money. It could be anything, all right? So when you get on the call, you're going to repeat the same process. You're going to thank them for taking the time. You are going to acknowledge their frustration when they are writing this. The next thing you're going to ask is, putting this aside, putting this incident, this particular incident aside, how is your experience, the overall experience working with myself, with the team, the event? Because unless the event is disastrous, okay? But if it's just a little hiccup here, but the hiccup is a big deal for your potential client, for your client, then okay, the overall event is still good. So please remember to ask her, how is the overall experience? Because you want her to remember that 98% of the event experience was fantastic. The guests were happy, she was happy, but it's only that little glitch at that moment in time at the event. So overall, it's still good. Okay, you must ask this question. All right, how is the overall experience? Putting this aside, how is your overall experience working with us? All right, you have to ask this question, and then they're gonna say, oh yes, I love your team, I love this, I love that, da, da, da. You're gonna write all this down. I hope that you're recording this conversation, okay? Because this can become a good review. All right, so now you're gonna write all this down. Okay, they said, oh yeah, this is good, the food is delicious, everything went so well, it's just so unfortunate that this thing happened. Okay, then you're gonna be like, whew, thank you so much. Now just know that on this call, right, you have to be the humble one. Even though she is in the wrong, you have to be the humble one. Why? Because if not, your ego is going to sabotage the whole thing. Okay, just know that. Suck it up for a little bit, and then we're going to leave with a good note. Okay, so here you're going to say, oh, I'm so thankful to hear that overall it's still good, and it's just this little hiccup. Okay, so now based on this, okay, you want to ask the next question. Putting this hiccup aside, but because the overall experience is still good, is there an opportunity for us to work again? Is there an opportunity for us to work again? Or if somebody were to ask you if we are a good planner to hire, decorator or hire, would you refer us? Now, this here you got to pay attention, okay? Here we are pushing it a little bit to make them say that they will still hire us, they will still refer us. They will say something like, or they might say something like, yeah, I most likely will, I just wish that everything was perfect. Okay, that means she's not like blacklisting you, okay? So yeah, sure, I will, then this part here, she may even say that sometimes things happen. I understand, it's just so unfortunate, it's happening at my event. So she's acknowledging that the possibility of other people's event is going to be perfect. It's just so unlucky that her event is not good. So you want to prep yourself to ask all these questions. I would suggest that you write all this down, okay? Then here, when we're going to talk about the situation, we're going to talk about this complaint. You're going to ask, okay, you are going to say something like, okay, I recall having this conversation. This part here is very important, okay? You're going to say, I recall us having this conversation, and from my perspective, this is how I recall the conversation went, and this is what I wrote in our documentation notes. Do you have a different perspective based on this review? Do you have a different understanding or perspective? It's very obvious that she has a different understanding and perspective, okay, because she wrote something very differently, but you want to ask her, you want her to say it out. Based on this, do you have a different perspective? So please share with me what was your understanding of this conversation. So this is where your facts became a gray area for her or became a lie for her, okay? Now, just know that whatever she says, right, you may not have to agree, and you may not agree. But that doesn't mean that you're going to say, I disagree. I don't think so. You are going to disagree by saying that, okay, thank you for explaining to me your perspective. Okay, thank you for explaining to me your perspective. So, okay, now I have a better understanding why you think of it that way. From my perspective, I thought it was very clear that it was this. So this is definitely a misunderstanding. Okay, so it could go this way, or it could, when you explain, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I misunderstood. So they may admit that. Or they may be like, no, 100% you did not say that. You'll be like, oh, actually I did. But you may have forgotten it. So whatever you say, you want to give her a way out to not lose face for writing something that's fake, okay? You are the business owner. You have to have a bigger stand. You cannot be petty. Just know that you cannot be petty. One person can bring you down. I know it sounds super dramatic because that one person will become 1,000 people. Okay, imagine you're already so hard trying to build your business, getting good reviews, and then we have 1,000 people out there who's going to spread all this BS to other people. We don't want that. So if you don't agree, you are going to say something that's very neutral. Okay, I understand. Okay, now I understand why you would think of it that way. My perspective is this. I thought it was very clear. Apparently, it is not. Okay, I get it. Okay, so you see, I did not say she's right. Neither did I say I'm right. I said, okay, I understand your perspective. Okay, so at this point, all right, at this point, you are going to ask them, okay? Even though we have different perspective, I believe my team has delivered XYZ ABC, and because you have a different understanding, we are not on the same page. But I understand this event is very important to you, very special to you, okay? It is unfortunate that we have a different perception or perspective of what actually happened. I still want to make it right for you, okay? I still want to make it right for you. How can I make it right for you? You will be surprised. When I said this, thank God I don't have many clients who complain, so I don't really have to do this very often. But I would say that 4 out of 5 when I said this, how can I make it right for you? Not 4 out of 5 didn't ask for anything. Okay? 4 out of 5 did not ask for anything. You know what they said to me? I want to commend you for taking the time to really understand the whole situation, taking the time to see from my perspective and understand that this is why it happened. Okay, the event is already over. Overall, the event is a good experience. It's just this little thing. I was very frustrated. I was very upset when I was writing this review. But now that we have a conversation like this, I understand now from your perspective, it is unfortunate that it didn't happen the way that I want it to happen. It's okay, May. Thank you for taking the time. See, I turned her from defensive to neutral. And that neutral position is great because she already said that overall, the event was good. And I already asked that question at the very beginning. And she said that she will still refer business to me. So next time when somebody asks her, hey, you use this person, how was it? She'll be like, oh, she's very good. And something happened at my event, but there was a misunderstanding. So it's not entirely her fault. It is, there's nobody's fault. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, go ahead and use her. This is how I actually got referrals from clients who give me a bad review. And I handle it this way, and they refer clients to me. Now, there will be that one person, even though she's wrong, and you are right, because from her perspective, she understood it very differently from you. Okay? They will ask for something. So, it's up to you as a business owner what you want to do with it. Okay? You don't have to give her what she asked for, but you should never offer. You should never offer a sum of money or a dollar amount or anything. Let them tell you what they want. Never tell them, I'm going to give you this credit, I'm going to give you this, give you that. No. How can I make it right for you? Okay? So in this sense, we left in a good tone, right? And that one person who wants money from you, there's a 50% chance who she will still refer you. 50% she will not. But the other, that if you handle it the way I handle it, they will so appreciate you not being combative, not trying to prove your point, and you being understanding of their perspective and not trying to tell her wrong. This part here is very important. Not trying to tell them that they are wrong, okay? And not trying to say that you are right. The word wrong and the word right should never happen in the conversation, okay? Understand your perspective. This is how I understand from my perspective. I can understand why we have very different expectation. Okay, all right. So moving on. Okay? All right. So this is how the step-by-step process I would handle a bad review. And this is a test and proven method, okay, that it worked. This is probably something that you have to go watch it again. And I think it's going to be inside my Facebook feed and my Instagram, IGTV, okay, that you'll be able to, it's no longer IGTV, in IG, on my grid, you'll be able to watch this again and take notes, all right? Hopefully you never have to deal with this, but I guarantee you as your business grows, there will always be that one person who is going to complain, and then now you are armed with the ammo, okay? Do not go into a conversation that, oh, but this shows this shows this. Nobody likes to be told that they are wrong. Nobody, even though that they are wrong. Ask yourself, do you like to be told that you are wrong? How do you feel when somebody says that you are wrong? Okay, especially when it's your event, where emotions and money are involved, everything becomes very extreme. All right, okay, that's about it. Now, before I go, because I have a coaching call at 12:30, I got something very exciting to share. We have a pop-up challenge that I decided to do in May, which is next Wednesday, okay, May 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. It's the Grow Your Challenge. It's the Grow Your Followers Challenge. I'm going to teach you the strategies, that's at least eight strategies that you can use to grow your followers. Why do you want to grow your followers? Because if you don't have followers, okay, that means you have got no eyes looking at your content, okay, no ears listening to your content. If they don't know you, they can't pay you. So it's extremely important that you need to be able to know which platform you should be on that works for you and your business, your personality, and what kind of content to put for different types of platform, and how do you hook them to continue to watch your content. I see some of you who's here with me every single Wednesday. I must be doing something right. So, and you want to be able to create that, because remember, the sales funnel start with the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel is visibility, and then they become followers. And then the middle of the funnel is you need to nurture them, and then they become hot leads, and then you close them. So if this top here is not done, you will never have anything trickling down. You have inconsistent sales or no sales. So if you want to sign up for this challenge, it's free, by the way. It's a free challenge. You get a workbook, virtual, live. I'm teaching live inside Zoom. Make sure you comment register, okay? On Instagram, comment register. On Facebook, comment register. And you're here on Facebook, please drop the link so that people can register. But comment register, so if somehow you don't see the link, I know to go back and look at the comments and give you the link to register for it. Okay, there's no replay. It's one night only. Next Wednesday, May 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, the Grow Your Followers Challenge. I look forward to no, that is for the link that and just put that one. Please remove it if possible. That one is for Facebook. Instagram has a different link, okay? So Instagram has a different link. So I will drop it on Instagram. So for those of you who wants to register, comment register on Instagram, and I'll give you a different link. The link that just got dropped on Instagram is not accurate. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.